States, Bundesländer. Hope I pronounced it correctly. I'm so sorry about my bad German. And this is the video. It's kind of like a continuation to the Geography Now video. You might be wondering if you are new to the channel. You definitely are, because I just started it out, so I don't have many subscribers. Why I don't start with the Geography Now episode of Germany? That is because I do have another channel and I react to that one like maybe 4 or 5 years ago. I'm gonna leave you the link in the comment section. You're gonna find it, so if you wanna watch it, it's gonna be very different. My whole setup, my camera, I might be even more awkward when I talk, but I don't know. I'm just gonna put it out there. I don't think it's fair to react twice to a video. So yeah, maybe I'm stupid. Whatever. Let's check out this video by Geography Now.
Scripts for the next few country episodes, which means this is going to have to be a filler week. Heavily requested. This one is going to be on the states or Bundesländer of Germany. Germany is a powerhouse nation. Obviously, it is the largest economy in Europe, and it holds a significant role of geopolitical activity that links an entire continent. As you'll soon find out, each state in Germany is pretty unique and diverse in their own way. They each kind of have their own specialty, and some have unique dialects. Before we get into this, though, I just want to let you know that one of my favorite sponsors is working with us once again, Cetera. For those of you that don't know, Cetera is a geography game website. Yeah, pretty appropriate for this channel, don't you think? You can download it on iOS or Android, or you can just go to the website here and play it online. You can choose your own region. You can test yourself on things like physical landscapes, capitals. You can even custom create your own game. And get this, they actually made a Geography Now game that you can play. It covers the countries we've done so far on this channel. Yeah, they made one. And not only that, but speaking of Germany, it comes in over 30 different languages, including German. I totally recommend you check them out. I've played this game. It's great. It's worth it. Thank you, Cetera, for sponsoring Geography Now. All right, and so with that being said, let's just jump into the 16 Bundesländer of Germany. First one, Baden-Württemberg, capital Stuttgart. This is like the other southern state besides Bavaria. It was formed by the joining of 3 other former states. It's kind of like the luxury car state. You know, they have the headquarters of Mercedes-Benz and Porsche. Lots of manufacturing going down here. It's very busy. They're also known for having the Black Forest, where all those fairy tales were inspired off of.
Yeah, I know Black Forest for the cake. I really love to eat sweet stuff.
By the Brothers Grimm, which also plays into the unique Swabian culture that they're known for down here. Swabians have possibly the weirdest dialect in all of Germany. A lot of Germans can't even understand them, and it incorporates a lot of weird unique festivals. A lot of times they...
We need to react to some German language. Come on. I did study it a little bit, but I want to hear the different accent. What is this guy doing with the nails on his head? That's so weird.
Wear these costumes based off of the fairy tales that came from here. Switzerland is like their best friend. They really just kind of get each other. A lot of Swiss people come over and travel to this area of Germany, and they're known for being really smart with their money and handling it very well, which also kind of means a lot of people think they're kind of stingy. That's like the stereotype. Geography Jessica says it is a sacrilege to throw stuff out, even if it's a broken TV or something. Bavaria, or Bayern, capital Munich. This is the largest state in size and the second largest in terms of population. It's kind of like the home of all those, you know, perpetuated German stereotypes that became famous through American culture. You know, Lederhosen, dirndls, those big 1-liter jugs of beer, half-timber houses, you know, stuff like that. Reason being because after World War II, this place was occupied by the Americans, and whatever they saw, they just kind of put in media. They're kind of like the most independent out of all the German states. I mean, they even had their own king at one point. He went crazy and drowned himself. They have more of like a Catholic background, and Austria is kind of like their conjoined twin. Like they get along really well with Austria. Beautiful mountains here. In fact, the tallest mountain in all of Germany, Zugspitze, is found here as well. And no shocker, they are really known for beer. There's like over 4,000 breweries here. The oldest one in all.
Bro, what?
Really known for beer.
No, wait. How much is this? How big is this glass? What the hell? Yeah, even the guy's laughing. What the hell? That's like... Yeah, I think this is a 2-liter glass, right? Or even 3 liters. These are the ones that when Bayern Munich wins the Bundesliga, they always drink, right?
Over 4,000 breweries here, the oldest one in all of Germany.
Wait, let me see if I recognize any of them.
is also found here. And, you know, all Germans kind of have their own
Benepstein.
opinions on Bavaria. Otto von Bismarck even once said, the Bavarian is the link between human and Austrian. Berlin, also the capital of Germany, is not only the largest city
it's
in
a
Germany, but it's
city-state. I
also
didn't
one of
know.
the 3 city-states, as in cities that are considered states. Now, when I asked a lot of you German geography peeps to describe Berlin, a lot of you, even from Berlin, kind of said something along the lines of, why do we even have this city? In 2003, former Mayor Klaus Wowereit described Berlin as poor but sexy. It's pretty much the only capital city in all of Europe that costs more than it earns. As in, the entire
Really?
country's GDP could be higher if Berlin didn't exist. And it's like you either love it or hate it. Geography Mara says it's like the city where Germans go to find themselves. Starving artists, aspiring EDM and techno musicians trying to make a point while unemployed. No, but seriously, the city does have some cool sights, colorful art scene. What's weird though is you can still kind of see the distinction between East and West Berlin because it was split after the war. And it's kind of like a weird place where capitalism and communism coalesce in one location. I mean, I guess Berlin is kind of like the rebel punk rock teenager who locks himself in his room because his parents just don't understand him. Brandenburg, capital Potsdam.
Do you think what he's saying is actually true? Let me know. I've never been to Germany. I do plan to go, but I never heard about Berlin like that.
Geography Jakob says, people joke that this state is the dead zone that surrounds Berlin. Berlin has more people than the entire state of Brandenburg. This is the first of the 5 states that make the former East Germany before the unification. It's kind of known as like the slow to get things done state, as in their airport was always supposed to be done this year, but they always say that like every year and it's been like 10 years. Let's see, lots of former Prussian history here. Lots of cool stuff to see here though, like the Roman baths, or the Cottbus Castle, the Anderhavel City Museum. They actually have like these cool medieval walls from the 14th century. One of the most notable sites being the Palace of Sanssouci. Lots of Eastern Europeans live here, especially Polish. I mean, they are on the border with Poland. They're kind of like the sidekick of Berlin that like tags along and wants to join his punk rock band, I guess you could say. Bremen. This is actually another city-state. However, it's more of like 2. It's broken up into Bremen and Bremerhaven. This is the smallest and least populated state in all of Germany at only about 660,000 people. Back in the day, it was labeled as a free Hanseatic city back when the Hanseatic League was a thing. That's a whole other thing we could talk about. Lots of marine culture here. Actually, people who want to become sailors come to Bremen and Bremerhaven. Beck's beer comes from here, as well as chocolate beer, both of which many Germans hate.
Yes, I do love Beck's. It has a unique taste. Even though it's a commercial beer, it has its unique taste, so approved, definitely. What is the chocolate beer?
Bremerhaven. Beck's beer comes from here, as well as chocolate beer, both of which many Germans hate. Let's see what else.
Germans don't like Beck's. Sorry. I do love Beck's. Chocolate beer, I don't know. I've tried before. I tried the chocolate beer in Prague. Yeah, it was nothing special. But I once had one artisanal chocolate beer. I paid €8 for a bottle. Oh my god, it was so good. So I guess you gotta pay a lot of money to get a good chocolate beer.
What else do they have? They have the Bremer Stadtmusikanten statue. They have the only microgravity tower in Europe where you can experience 9 seconds of weightlessness, 8 mummified bodies in glass coffins, and a memorial block in the street dedicated to a female serial killer. Charming. But yeah, you know, Bremen is just kind of like this unique, quaint, yet always kind of competing with Hamburg state. Which brings us to...
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm gonna try not to stop too much from now on. But I just remember there was I listened to an Italian podcast. They always talk about history, and there was a small city that now the name escapes my mind. There was this serial killer that killed so many people over there, so many people in a really small city, and it was in Germany. It was in the 19th century. Do you have any idea who I'm talking about? It was like one of the serial killers that killed the most people in the entire history. So I don't remember. It was kind of like hiding the people. I don't remember how he was killing them. He was eating them, something like that. He was a cannibal. Pretty weird. I don't know. It was even feeding the whole village with the meat of the people that was killing. So very creepy, that episode, but still very interesting, you know.
Hamburg.
part of the
Hamburg is
history.
the last of the 3 city-states, and it is pretty much the richest state in all of Germany. You gotta love these guys because people from Hamburg are called Hamburgers. Sometimes they're called the Venice of the North Sea because they have all these neighborhoods that are separated by canals and bridges.
The capital of Hamburg is McDonald's.
Like Bremen and Bremerhaven, they have a harbor built on the Elbe River, which gives them access to the sea, and they have a huge maritime culture, even though they are technically not on the sea. And they are getting quite a bit of attention these days because Hamburg is kind of like the IT capital of Germany right now. A lot of you have also mentioned that they have the most famous red light district in all of Germany, the adult-themed Reeperbahn. I did not know that. Lots of cool sights you can see here, though. Oh, and they love fish here. Kind of like the
I don't like fish.
rich guy who loves his fish. Next up, Hesse or Hessen, capital Wiesbaden. Much of today's Hesse state belonged to the former Hessen Duchy back in the day. It was an independent state all the way up until 1871, and they are most famous for Frankfurt. It has more skyscrapers than any other city, and it has the busiest airport in all of Germany as well. And it is kind of like the business hub of Germany. It's home to so many corporate banks and financial institutions, also home to the German Stock Exchange. Goethe, one of the most important writers in German history, is from Frankfurt. Well, they love apples, especially drinking it in various ways. They love apple cider. There's even a fountain that shoots apple wine at you. But yeah, Hessen is kind of like, it's like the financial management brother of the family. Lower Saxony, capital Hanover. It's the second largest state in terms of area, and it's called Lower Saxony because of the elevation, not because of the geographic location on the map. Keep that in mind. This state gets along very well with the Netherlands. This state kind of has like 2 cultures, the Plain Saxons and the Frisians, whom are related to the Frisians in the Netherlands. It's kind of like the country farmland area of Germany. They host a lot of fairs like the World Fair Expo in 2000. However, interestingly enough, you can also hear quite a bit of Plattdeutsch spoken here as well, which is the dialect that the Amish speak in the Americas. It's also the headquarters of Volkswagen, and they also have Wolfsburg, which is the city with the highest GDP per capita in the entire country.
Oh yeah, I think Wolfsburg, I read something about it for the football team. That's like pretty much only like factories or something like that over there and the football stadium. But nobody actually lives in the city center, right? They live like on the side of it.
It's like the richest city. Mecklenburg-Vorpommern.
I don't know if that's true. I'm just saying.
It is actually the poorest state in Germany, and it is the second former East Germany state. As the name implies, Vorpommern, it was part of the former area known as Pomerania, which, yes, that's where the Pomeranian dog comes from. Some people joke that it should be called Mecklenburg-Vorpolen because it has a lot of Polish influence. It's right next to Poland. They even share and split this island with them called Usedom. It is very rural and sparsely populated. It has a lot of farmers and old people. In fact, it is disputably the oldest state in all of Germany. Tons of lakes here, though. The largest lake completely within Germany is actually found here as well. They also have the largest island in all of Germany. Beautiful beaches, cool places with like chalk cliffs. But yeah, Mecklenburg-Vorpommern. It's kind of like the old angry grandpa that yells at the kids for running on his lawn. North Rhineland-Westphalia. Capital, Dusseldorf. This is like the big daddy of Germany. It's the most populated with about 17 million. It's the powerhouse industrial capital of Germany. Much of its economy was built off of coal mining in the beginning, and today they have more companies and factories than anywhere else in Germany.
Cool.
People here have a deep-rooted Catholic culture. They love celebrating Carnival. The 2 biggest cities, Dusseldorf and Cologne, are always like competing with each other. There's really cool Frank Gehry architecture in Dusseldorf. Cologne has the Cologne Cathedral, obviously, and Cologne is kind of like the media capital of Germany. Much of the major studios can be found here. But yeah, overall, this state is kind of like the partying dad of Germany. Rhineland-Palatinate, capital Mainz. This is kind of like the younger brother of Rhineland-Westphalia, except they love wine. Like, it's often argued that the best German wine can be found in this state. There's a lot of historical sites.
Oh my god, I never tried or seen German wine. Oh my god, in this channel I'm gonna do so many challenges of beer, wine, food, whatever. Oh my god, I'm gonna have so much fun in here. Why is there Napoleon?
And castles, especially ones that date back to the days when France was always like invading and taking over. They also have the last bastion of Roman presence north of the Alps in the town of Trier.
Cool.
It's also the birthplace of Karl Marx. They are known for liverwurst. It's kind of like the sidekick of Rhineland-Westphalia. Saarland, capital Saarbrücken.
That's so
Besides
small.
the city-states, it is the smallest state in area. Basically, the people here are like Frenchy Germans. The area was occupied by France after World War II. II, and they were actually their own independent state all the way up until 1957 when they decided to go back to Germany, which explains why the people here are really good at speaking French. Geography Fiona says they are like the long-lost uncle that you don't know how you're related to and speaks French. The most notable site though probably being the Völklingen Ironworks. It's a massive rusting steel plant that is now a UNESCO heritage site. Today it holds a museum, science center, and an auditorium for concerts. I wouldn't be surprised if heavy metal concerts were a big thing here. Just saying. Saxony, capital Dresden. This is the third former East European state. Geography Thorsten explains it pretty well when he says, the Saxons are one of the oldest German tribes with having a lot of political influence in the early times of the Holy Roman Empire, and with some of them even creating something of what we now know today as England, hence why many British people say that they're Anglo-Saxon, and why the English language is classified as a Germanic language. It kind of started here. Interesting, right? This place is kind of known for having two things: great universities and very right-wing politics. They get along really well with Czechia / the Czech Republic, whatever you like calling it. They have a minority group called the Sorbians, a Slavic people group, kind of related to the Czechs, and it's actually a language that is protected by the German government. Nonetheless, though, I've been told that the people here are really super nice. They have like that East German hospitality. It's just, you know, they're different from the rest of Germany, especially Lower Saxony. Like the two Saxonies have nothing to do with each other. Saxony-Anhalt, capital Magdeburg. This is the fourth former East German state. It's often said that they call themselves the state that wakes up earlier. This is basically kind of like Saxony's chiller little sister. It's also the birthplace of Martin Luther, who started the Protestant Reformation. Baroque composer Handel was born here. It is home to the Bauhaus movement, and they love Christmas here. They have a huge Christmas market and produce a lot of nutcrackers. When I was told they are home to the mountain of Brocken, which on April 30th becomes the site of the Walpurgisnacht, a night of dancing with witches based off of the story by Goethe. Schleswig-Holstein, capital Kiel, named after the two duchies that worked together for centuries. It is the only bi-coastal state in Germany with coasts along the North Sea and the Baltic. And it's basically like the Denmark of Germany. There's a lot of Danish people here, Danish-speaking people here, and it's actually a protected, recognized language. You can greet people here by saying moin moin. And the cool thing is, on the North Sea coastline on the west side, they have the largest cohesive tidal flats in the world. A natural World Heritage site. Twice a day, the tide recedes, exposing a massive mud flat. Of course, no surprise, fishing and sailing are huge out here. They actually have a huge sailing competition every year. Yeah, the people here are kind of known for being like tall, animal herding people that are really quiet, like they don't talk much. And finally, Thuringia or Thüringen, capital Erfurt, the last and final state of former East Germany. This place is probably most famous for the city of Weimar. As Geography Thorsten says, it is the home of Johann Wolfgang Goethe and Friedrich von Schiller. Their works in the so-called Sturm and Drang era was so influential that it was manifested in a saying about Germany. Germany is the country of poets and thinkers. They were kind of like the Shakespeares of Germany back in the day. Much of their writing actually influenced a lot of words and phrases for modern German that is spoken today. The composer Bach was born here. You can see his house. And interesting, they have a lot of caves here as well, like these. And they're known for having really good food here as well. They have like these potato dumpling things. And all Germans love Thuringian style bratwurst. They're famous for it. So there you go. Those are the 16 states of Germany. However, a lot of you guys also mentioned two other things. The Spanish Balearic island, Mallorca. A lot of Germans jokingly call this the 17th Bundesländer. This is really a hot spot for Germans.
I've never been there. I've never been to Mallorca. I always wanted to. I've been a lot of times to Canary Island in Spain, and there was many Germans over there. So I would have expected more that one to be more German.
And they flock to this place all year round. Tons of Germans already live here. A lot of the street signs and shop signs and billboards are written in German. People have lived on this island, never learning a word of Spanish, and they've been fine. Yeah, the Germans love this island. Back in Cold War times, Cuba kind of like said, oh, we're gonna give you this island, Cayos Blanco del Sur, named Ernst Talmand Island. But then like Cuba was like, oh, it was just like a symbolic thing. We didn't actually give it to you. And then Germany was like, yeah, fine, whatever, keep that island. So that is it. So yeah, I mean, in conclusion, for Germany, you gotta hand it to them. They've gone through so much in the past century, and it's almost miraculous how much they've moved forward. Whether you're Bavarian or Mecklenburg-Vorpommern. Hope you like this video. Thank you. Dankeschön. Stay cool. Stay tuned.
That was a really nice video, very informative. And I have a question for you guys before I'm gonna end up with this video. Is it very like, how do a German person think about himself? Do you think of yourself first as a German or first of the Bundesland that you come from, the state that you come from? Let me know. Like, if you're Bavarian, do you think of yourself first as a Bavarian or an Italian? I mean, and how important is it, you know? Like, can you feel at home if you're from Bavaria, you will move, let's say, to Berlin or Frankfurt? Or is it's totally different? Because I know that Americans, French, maybe even Spanish people, they do have this thing that the countries are very united. They're not too much different from one place to the other, so they will always feel home wherever they are in their own country. But actually, even Italians, we think more about, like, our city is the most important thing, like the place where we are raised, where we were born and raised. That is the place that we love more than anything else in the world. So we will always say, like, I guess, I mean, if you go abroad, of course, you will say, yes, I'm Italian, I'm proud to be Italian. But in Italy, we will say, no, I'm proud of being I'm from Piemonte in the north, like near Turin. So I will say always, I'm from Piemonte. I'm proud of the region where I come from, especially my city. So I want to know if you have this kind of thing going on in Germany as well. This was a really nice video. I hope you guys enjoyed my reaction. Hopefully I didn't talk too much and bother you. Let me just know your thoughts in the comment section, and if you have any other requests for future videos, they will be very much appreciated. See ya!